Meanwhile, misery loves company. It's Greg Kelly shitting on Republicans. He looks like he's about to make an elephant noise. I'm very excited. But understand, Chris Wallace, Paul Ryan, Fox News, thanks for nothing. Just called Arizona, Biden. This is all their contempt for the country. The little guy is swinging at the big guy. He's going, he's never going to be on Fox, so he's taking a big swing at him. And look at that. He's ready. And I don't know if I'll even be able to say anything because judging from this, looks like he's just going to be shitting on Republicans and rhinos and Fox News the whole time. It's exciting. Let's see.
I found myself angry this morning.
So today ended in a Y, did it?
Angry about the catastrophe that we have in this country, a Joe Biden presidency.
I woke up relaxed and joyful this morning myself, Greg. I breathed deep and I felt this kind of exuberance and I think it was like sort of like an inverted Obi-Wan Kenobi moment, you know. I felt a disturbance in the pulse. Because I knew I could feel somewhere out there was a titillation in the force because Greg Kelly woke up miserable. Fox News, thanks for nothing. Fox News loves
It's worse than anyone could have imagined. Who's responsible?
I think you are. I blame Greg Kelly. I'm just
people are responsible. A lot of institutions, certainly the fake news, which bent over backwards to protect him, and even a good chunk.
Unlike Newsmax that bends over forward to protect Trump. That's Greg Kelly's response. You're doing it wrong. Come here, Trump. Let's show him how it's done. Hold on. Let me loosen my shoes.
Of the so-called conservative media. Yeah, like Fox News. Thanks for nothing.
Thanks for nothing. But I want to marry you. Well, thanks for nothing. That's right, Shell.
Terrible during the campaign.
Terrible.
They were horrendous on election night.
Terrible.
And they're still bad. They're still bad. Now, Jen Psaki, there's no greater liar other than Joe Biden in the government. I mean, we all see it. What a terrible.
Do we now?
Job she's doing, and the lack of respect that she.
There's no greater liar than Biden in the thing with this. We see the job she's doing. All right.
Seems to have for the American people. And her recent comments, soft on crime. What do you mean by that? So.
All right. Soft on crime. What do you mean by that? I mean, the president just offered to pardon people who beat cops nearly to death.
Not too long ago, she was on Fox News. It was in the morning, and they kept teasing it all morning long. Jen Psaki's coming up. And like a fool, I stuck around because I wanted to see the fire.
Gets you like you. I guess it doesn't pay to be a gullible asshole, does it, Greg?
You know, because there are a lot of questions to pose to her.
Oh, yeah.
Here's what happened.
Great to have you, and we have so much to cover with you. I want to start with the voting rules.
Good morning to you, Jen. By the way, it's hard to find two Bengal fans in the same room.
That's right.
We've done it.
Can I join the party?
Big game this weekend. Big game on Saturday. Go Bengals.
We'll be all playing that. And hopefully there will be no breaking news that you have to deal with, Jen, during the Bengals game. We will try to protect you from that.
Thanks for being here.
When the president said,
oh, my God, they were cordial on a news program. Don't they understand? They're supposed to fling shit at the camera in their own studios.
Looks at his watch and says, I guess I'll go another 24 minutes. I'm curious what your exact heart rate was at that time.
She's trying to slam Biden when he's like, I'm going to do another half hour of my freewheeling press conference with no guide rails. And she's like, doesn't that scare you? Because he's such a dizzy old bastard. And she's like, no.
I'm a pretty chill person in general. I may not always seem that way in the briefing room, and that's what he's used to. So
Jen,
I knew he was having a good time.
Well, I was having a heart attack for you.
Thank you for being here today. Please come back. We'll do it more often.
Good luck to the Bengals, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
Good luck to the Bengals, everyone. That is wonderful.
A job interview? Maybe it was.
Yeah. She's going to go to Fox afterwards, like Kellyanne Conway and Kayleigh McEnany. P.S. dipshit. This is why you don't actually have any actual interviews. And can I say for the record, nothing is stopping Greg Kelly from getting a press pass in the White House briefing room. Nothing. Totally could do it. He's got a nighttime show. He could drag his stupid ass over there anytime he wants to. Fly in the day, sit there, do the whole like press conference, ask his couple of questions, slide his shit in there, and then bugger off and do his show, right? What's stopping you? Besides cowardice and weakness and idiocy, and the Newsmax probably has you on a tight leash.
What was that? Now, I actually don't blame.
Well, what was that? I'll tell you what it was, Greg. It was you editing all the substance out of an interview. I mean, that's what it was. We just saw a couple of glad-handing things, and then there was a lot of editing between them, meaning that any substantive questions or ideas that were presented were removed by you or one of your editors or somebody. Probably just the editor, because you don't actually look at the shit. And that's what we watched. We watched an edit. Yeah.
Perino and Hemmer, nice people, good at what they do usually. They have bosses, all right? They have bosses.
Yeah.
And you know who one of their bosses is? Rhino Paul Ryan, former Speaker of the House, former running mate to Mitt Romney. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody who actually got some shit done, even if I didn't like it, managed to get stuff done and halted a lot of Democratic plans while he was in office. He did a lot of gnarly shit that I don't like, which you should like for some fucking reason.
Paul Ryan is on the board of News Corp, gets hundreds of thousands.
Jessica's asking why I set a goal of 666,666 stars. Because it started out as a joke about 666 Fifth Avenue, which Jared Kushner owns. So the Trump family has a financial stake in 666 Fifth Avenue until the Chinese bailed them out. So we're trying to make money I want to buy 666 Fifth Avenue, because hey, Jared couldn't afford it and he owned it, so why can't I? That's why, by the way. I'm referencing the fact. And welcome. If you're a new troll, thanks for being here. Don't forget to type more stuff in there.
Dollars a year, and by all accounts has a major impact on how Fox News views the world, covers the world, how they might treat somebody like Jen Psaki. Now, Paul.
Yeah, I'm sorry, they're supposed to violently attack her, Greg? Greg, you do realize there's a reason why you don't have any guests, right? Could this possibly be the moment when he suddenly becomes aware, like, oh shit, that's why nobody wants to talk to me, even on the bus.
Ryan,
I think so too,
remember
Andrea.
him primarily for, let's face it, tripping up or trying to trip up Donald Trump. He let everybody know in big ways and small that he did not like the president. And that was really, really sad. Now, I was actually kind of pleased.
Well, sad for you. I mean, the Republican Party now, though, has shifted back over to telling him to go fuck himself. So it's fine. Why is that not opening? I'm curious. Hold on. Let's see, Stream Deck, close window. I've got to reopen my Stream Deck because it's acting weird. Let's see. All right. Anyways.
Paul Ryan decided to pack it in. The fake news was excited. I didn't realize, though, how excited Paul Ryan was. I'll get to that in a moment. But first, here he is on the way out.
An unexpected announcement rocks Washington this morning.
No, it wasn't unexpected. Dude got a huge corporate tax cut and then decided to leave and work in corporate America.
Paul Ryan will not seek re-election.
The House Speaker Paul Ryan announces he will not seek re-election. Another reminder of the difficult midterm environment for Republicans and of the dramatic evolution of the GOP under President Trump.
All right?
Good
So
point.
he's out. Or is he out? And when
Oh my God, he didn't disappear entirely. He went to work for Fox News and Republican think tanks. What does he think he is? A former Republican Speaker of the House? Hi, by the way, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. I'm the only person who takes these clips on all the way through. This is the shit they post, and I don't pre-watch it. I don't prejudge it. I don't do any of that. I just watch it, and just like you and me together, respond to this live. And also, thank you, trolls, for joining us today. We got a good number of trolls in here. Don't forget to hit the thumbs down if you're a troll, and write something in the chat, because every time you write something, it tells the algorithm, that guy's interesting. So, and everybody else, please say hi. Say where you're from, if you feel like doing that, or say where you'd like to go instead. Whatever works, that's fine.
his Twitter page today, take a look at this. It's got millions of followers. Good for him. And look at what his bio is, okay? A little bit closer, please. Office of the 54th Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan. Well, he's been out for 4 years. Why does it...
It's the same reason Trump says office of the 45th president of the United States. Is he fucking with you? You do realize that's part of the problem that people have with Trump, right? Is that he's got his stationery makes it look like he's still president. You do. All right. I mean, I don't want to stop him attacking, rhinos and whatnot. I mean, this GOP on elephant on elephant crime is fine by me.
Say office.
Hi.
Because he takes it with him, okay? He's selling what the American people gave him, the speakership, through our representatives. He's selling his office. That's what he does. That's what...
Hey, what the fuck are you talking about? He's not in office anymore.
They all do.
Look, he's in it for the fame. Who? Like, look at this empty space here. Fill the fucking chyron, you lazy bastard. What? Just put Paul Ryan is in it for the fame. You've got plenty of room. What is happening?
And when you're the speaker, wow, you can do very, very well. Former speaker.
He's not.
Speaker. I don't think it...
Yeah, what's a former speaker? He as a former speaker, good Lord.
There's that much. Everybody was estimating he's going to make a lot of money. A guy that young who ran with, look at this, the kind of board that he would go after would probably pay between $250,000 and $300,000 a year, and he could probably get 3 or 4 of them. He's got about 1 million other business interests as well.
Yes, I don't understand why Republicans and the right wing have to attack people for being successful.
And of course, there is Fox News. He is on the board of Fox News. And a lot of us think that we see his handiwork all over what they put out on air. And that's really, really unfortunate for a place that's supposed to be fair and balanced. A little bit more on Fox.
And yes, he did say more on Fox, which I think is an apt description. Also, you can't use the fair and balanced phrase and then get mad because they had a little Bengals conversation with Psaki in an interview you cut to pieces.
Remember Jim Acosta, that idiotic blowhard from CNN? I mean,
he is from CNN, yeah. By the way, the media are so full of themselves. You think Greg knows he's in the media? I mean, it's Newsmax, so it's the media, but
they don't get any worse than this guy. And remember when he pushed that White House aide? He was giving it to Donald Trump. It was time for him to relinquish the mic. He wouldn't. He shoved her. It was a bad, bad moment. And they suspended his White House credentials for 2 days or something like that. No big deal. It doesn't infringe on anybody's First Amendment right. You don't have a right to access the White House grounds. Certainly.
Well, they won't let you on the grounds, I suppose. I mean, you do. You have the right to try and access it. You have a show. You could do it. I mean, I'd love to do it. Anybody who's got pointers on how to get press creds for any of the White House briefings, I'd love to sit there and ask a couple questions or take notes or be on camera behind them going, But anyways.
After you pushed a White House reporter, anyway, the media went nuts.
who was trying to grab the mic out of his hand. Right. He did
And Jim Acosta was reissued his press pass, and I couldn't believe it. They treated him like he was the president. Look at this. And look at how
they did. Oh, because he came out to the gaggle of reporters and gave a statement.
self-righteous and pompous the guy is. Take a look.
I'm very grateful for what happened today, and grateful for my colleagues in the press.
It's the pompous gratitude that bothers me. You know what I mean? To say thank you so egotistically.
Good bias through all of this. This was a test, and I think we passed the test. Journalists need to know that in this country, their First Amendment rights of freedom of the press are sacred.
A total joke.
Because he's in the press, I'm in the press, and I'm in basically a converted office space doing this show. I'm not even wearing pants. This is shit.
Push a White House aide. You don't have to be let back into the White House, but the whole swamp stood up for this guy, including Fox News. This is when they totally lost it. Fox News stands with CNN. Passes for working White House journalists should never be weaponized. Weaponized? He pushed a girl and they took it away. Look at that. Fox News stands with...
Oh, they did extra work on the graphics today.
CNN? Give me a break. You can stand with CNN all you want. Stand with them now. Let's see that. It got worse. Do you remember during the campaign?
Also, by the way, is it just me, or is Newsmax ultimately, I mean, he's obviously attacking Fox, but he and Hannity are both engaged in the same kind of bullshit. Is he just like cribbing from Hannity, whatever Hannity does? Like, they attack CNN, I'll attack Fox. It's the same thing.
A phony baloney story that never should have been published. The Atlantic magazine alleged that Donald Trump, in a cemetery, called the war dead losers and suckers. Now, if you go through the story, it's not worth the paper it's written on.
Well, in your opinion, obviously.
Can't have a story of that potential impact as thinly sourced as they had it.
Well, there's only two people present, and one of them's a president, the other one's a general, and the general says it. I mean, it's obviously a he said situation, but you got to take, if you're going to print the story, you can't just ignore it because there isn't a third person present. The fuck is that? Then you can just guarantee that, any untoward statement or behavior or any, violent or criminal act, as long as there's only a second person, you need at least three people for something violent or awful that happened. What's your argument other than the fact that he just wants to not believe it's true?
I think we could never do anything like that. No way. Zero chance.
Well, that's because you have no access and no one will talk to you. The general that talked to the writer from the Atlantic, that was a source. They talk back and forth to each other, whereas no one wants to talk to you, Greg. Not on the bus, not while you make a fuss, not in a van, not in the can.
Who backed them up? Right.
1,200 people in the chat, 1.2K in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. Like and subscribe, give a thumbs up, all that kind of stuff. We'll get to some fun stuff in a moment. This is just aggravating.
Hey, within hours.
My sources include two senior former Trump administration officials who were on the trip to France where these remarks allegedly were made. They confirmed key parts of the Atlantic article and certainly described a pattern of behavior by the president in describing war veterans and wounded warriors that coincides with the description in the Atlantic article.
This happens a lot in journalism.
This happens a lot. They confirm actual details. Don't they realize that when Trump... follow Greg Kelly's lead. When Trump walks by, you lay down, you stick your tongue out, and if he wants to teabag you, he will. And he'll only do it if you really are sufficiently loyal. And good fucking God. All they're doing is sourcing what they had agreeing sources.
Somebody has a big article. make one phone call. Yeah, everything in the story is true, right? Everything is story. You don't have to cite them anymore.
Is that what? Oh, she's making the phone call. He thinks that because she's on the phone with Fox, that she was just on the phone with the reporter from the Atlantic. Is this him just not understanding that graphic? Fucking hell.
It's good. It's good. It's ridiculous. It's wrong. But that gave the conservative media imprint on the story, and they ran with it. Wow.
When you hear these remarks, suckers, losers, recoiling from amputees, what does it tell you about President Trump's soul and the life he leads?
The mainstream media was able to look.
That's it. C-SPAN? Where's that guy from? He looks like a college journalism professor. I'm not familiar with who that dude is. Is he supposed to be somebody who works at Fox? Is that what we're supposed to think?
But he's behind this story. What does it tell you about the president's soul? But
I don't know. I don't know. Well, hold on. Oh, he goes to break and comes back. Hold on.
My personal favorite, or my least favorite, is Wallace. Chris Wallace.
Oh, God. Fucking Chris Wallace, right? Right? Doesn't he understand that he is the secretary in charge of Gish Gallops in a debate for Donald Trump? He can't push back on one of Trump's answers. That's not right. How in the world?
The fact that he was not fired by Fox News the moment after that debate, that second debate in the fall of 20
is telling that it would be really obvious that they were in the tank.
20 was over. That tells you about how fair and balanced Fox News is. This guy did everything he could to hurt Trump and help Biden.
Oh no. Luckily, Trump had all the best words, and he could just whip them out anytime he wanted to. He could just say stuff that in the middle of it would just
drown
take
your
an idea.
Endless torment of, I mean, what they do. They have an endless list of propaganda and propaganda methods.
The nice thing about Trump was it didn't matter. Chris Wallace could throw anything at him.
Assuming you're believing in atmospheric filth.
Trump always had the ability to turn it all around and
action replays in magnified fortune
that no one could rebut. Try as he might, Chris Wallace tried to ruin Donald Trump, and still Donald Trump was able to talk his way out.
Michigan gave us Motown, gave us Motown, gave us the Mustang.
Yes, nuclear stockpiles.
He's overtaken it. He's fixed it. He's worked on it, and I'm proud of him.
But why was he given tens of millions?
All right, but he wasn't given tens of millions. That is totally discredited.
We've already been through.
Totally discredited.
We've already been through this. I think the American people would rather hear about more substantial subjects. Well, you know, as the moderator, sir, I'm going to make a judgment call here.
Gets $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow.
Again, by the way, Hunter Biden didn't get $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow. It was the mayor of Moscow's wife who gave Rosemont Seneca $3.5 million to invest, of which, if it made money based on the investments that they put it into, they would get a percentage of, like an agent. They don't get to keep the $3.5 million. She is now the richest woman in Moscow because of this investment. She gave her money to Rosemont Seneca to invest, and now they did well with it, and she is the richest woman in Moscow. Now, in that same amount of time, Donald Trump's cash on hand worth went from $300 million to $93 million in the same amount of time. Also, he still has $300 million worth of bills to pay. So he's, what's the word? Fucked. That's the word.
Not true. That report is totally discredited. Mitt Romney on that committee said it wasn't worth taxpayers' money, that report. It was written for political reasons.
You know, I'd like to talk about climate change.
So would I.
Okay.
And that was it. Donald Trump had.
That's it. He couldn't even, why was he not given 20 minutes to try and sort out and speak to people in a language that they understand.
Once it was reluctantly aroused. It was hard to get it aroused, and it is hard to get it aroused, but we got it aroused.
All he needed was more time.
Soup for my family.
He could have nailed it.
We're going to be appointing very pro-crime judges.
And then he could have just like spiked the ball and gone.
God bless the United States. Thank you very much.
You know what I mean? And here Chris Wallace won't give him time to screw up his own allegation. By the way, for the record, again, it was the mayor of Moscow's wife who gave her money to Rosemont Seneca to invest, not the mayor of Moscow. Trump even gets that part wrong right out of the fucking gate. So if you're gonna, in a presidential debate, drop like some drop some news. I'm gonna like, right? He's gonna mic drop. He's gonna pull one of those, and still you can't get the minor details right. Fuck.
Moment to score some real points. Biden corruption, according to Fox News, was somehow off the table as an issue. You got.
Well, no, there was none. They've been debating about it already. It doesn't amount to a hill of beans. It's a pile of bullshit. There is no Hunter Biden laptop. Kiss my ass. And the American people will not be affected by any policy decisions around a fake scandal. They just won't. What they will be affected by is what the administration does about climate change, gas prices, the economy, all that kind of stuff.
Kidding me. And then for another year plus, Chris Wallace made what, another $6, $7, $8 million, however much he gets paid on that show?
I don't know. It's got to hit personally. I'm pretty sure Chris Wallace doesn't have to take the bus to work. You and I do, Greg, sometimes, but not Chris.
Even though the viewers despised him?
Did they?
Why would they do that? It's...
I'll tell you exactly why. To give Fox News the illusion of balance. That's why. Because without a Chris Wallace or the occasional Geraldo Rivera outburst, it's an obvious political action committee. So they keep people like that. And then, once they dropped like 2 people early on who weren't super Trump friendlies. So it really was all in the Chris Wallace basket.
Contempt for the audience. It's contempt for the country. Well,
he helped Joe Biden get elected.
Changes have finally been made, and I hear Chris is never happier.
The more people see of the world, the more likely they are to be better people.
This is CNN Plus.
Good for you, Wallace.
That has to suck. Greg, are you just upset he's working at a real network? Thank you, Doyle. That's what this is really about, isn't it? It's the paycheck. You're fucking mad about the paycheck. I mean, you're also mad because he didn't gargle Trump's balls like you would. But still, this is just jealousy. This is straight up Trumpism. This is like, can you believe how much money Hunter Biden made and Burisma was a criminal endeavor and now it's not, and he earned his money and he didn't know anything. I don't know anything about construction. I'm broke as fuck.
Well, this is Newsmax, and we may not have the budget of CNN Plus or...
You definitely don't.
Fox News, and we may not have the fancy lights.
I have fancy lights. I have 3 of them. My patrons bought them for me. They cost altogether $264, I think. It's not CNN fancy, but I appreciate it. It allowed me to take my old lights and turn them into cutout lights so that I don't have green haze all over me when I'm trying to do the show. It was lovely, and I appreciate it, patrons. It's no $6 million CNN contract, but I'd like you to know from my heart that I greatly appreciate it, and I am not a miserable fuck like Greg Kelly because my lights only cost less than $300. Oh my God, just the misery. Because you have to understand, he doesn't have to say that shit. Nobody at home sees that stuff. They don't know about the studio. That's in his head because wherever he's working sucks. Whatever room they're in, like this place, we had to stop down for 10 minutes yesterday because they were flickering. Whatever that bullshit is, right? Thank you, Aaron. You know? Wallace has been spinning for years. Oh, God. But the fact that he brought that up is about what's on Greg Kelly's mind every day. Great. Joe Rogan is kicking my ass in the money department. Yes, he is. But in my defense, I've spent no money on drugs in the last ever. So, I get to keep more of mine. I don't smoke any of my money. So I think that balances out.
At the heart.
That down on Greg Kelly. Oh, yeah. Our country is going to hell. We're being had by our enemies abroad. Oh, God, just fucking miserable. Look at these are the tee-ups. This is what Newsmax wants you to see. And by the way, look at Trump's face in this picture. We did this whole interview. That's the moment where, like, Rob Schmidt tried to, like, you're not president anymore and you're not going to be president. What happens, like, give me a real reason. These people don't like you. He's like, oh, so beautiful. Thanks, Benny Loco.